Welcome back, one and all, to the greatest show of all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that one. Welcome back to the Maturity Project. This is your host, or I am your host, Chad Everett Broshears, or Sir Chad Everett Broshears to some. And this is the Maturity Project. What we're talking about today is make some connections. Well, we typically make connections all the time. Actually, we do. We make connections all the time. It's a matter of how you put value on it, what you want to do as far as what you assign value to a specific connection or relationship. There's an association of resources that go to that particular thing. And that could be just your attention. It could be, and your attention being directly when they're communicating with you or externally whenever they're not around and you're thinking about them. Those are all attention-related values of resource, which means that when you're thinking about something, you can't think about something else. You're kind of hostage to that thought. In a way, it's not really hostage. That would be whenever you can't really escape the thought, then you become hostage to it. And there's reasons for that are, all kinds of reasons. There's upset, there's the desirability of a thought, things like that turn into the being the hostage to the thought. But the depth of what I'm looking at to communicate here is just the thought in itself. It is a resource that is coming from attention. So make these connections. Now, here's the great thing: is a lot of the connections you don't have to have such strategy in everything you do, but if you want to change specific experiences in life, strategize the change. Some of us do little strategy to making a change. Sometimes it's just a declaration. I'm gonna make this change, and that's the depth of strategy. And then along the way, they kind of shoot from the hip on what actions to take or what perspectives to view something by in order to make change in that particular area. No, it's not overly strategized. Actually, it's got minimal strategy to it. Just the declaration is practically the entirety of the strategy. But again, the great things about us as I think it's about this human species is that we have such adaptability that you can adapt to the point of success in pretty much anything that you want to do that any other human has ever done. And then there's the things that, not every human has ever done, and now it's a new set thing. But we don't really have a whole lot of innovators like that anymore. That's just it's a non-common thing because we have so many discoveries. Until we hit a new frontier, that's pretty much where we're at. And that frontier could be a lot of different things. It's just that right now the frontiers that we're familiar with, we've conquered to a significant degree. Now, for a lot of us, it's the internal aspects to the frontier we're involved in. Business. That was a frontier at one point, and it still is, but for a lot of us, it's the frontier in front of us, but it has already been laid out. We have guides to take us there. We have all kinds of ways to develop to become better at business because it's been discovered. And then there could be some new things that are kind of variations of something else, but anything truly a genius in the sense of being completely original is very unlikely because the ideas that we have are usually associated with other ideas that are already there from our experiences that somebody else has helped us accomplish, whether that's direct or indirect. But that's not to take anything away from anybody. It's just to, if you really want to have that depth of a truly original thought, it's very uncommon. Most of us go our entire lives and never have an original thought. Hell, I can't even think of an original thought that I've had since I've gone through a lot of my life's experiences and looking back and seeing how it's connected to other things. And before I know it, I don't really see a lot of ingenuity in the sense of creating something brand new. Even whenever it comes to what I've done in the gym industry, which is pretty revolutionary for a lot of people, but it's not new to us as a species. It's just new to a lot of people in the gym industry. So the point of it is the connections along the way help give us experiences that we can come up with things that would be different variations of something that's already been created inside a frontier that we're occupying. That's pretty easy to once you get to the point of recognizing that, then it becomes, what do you do with that information? What do you do with being that tuned into yourself? Well, that's where you strengthen your connections. As the more you're connected with yourself, the better you know yourself, the more likely you are to be able to express that about who you are to somebody else in a way that truly has them get you. Versus they get you because they assume specific things, that you've said something and they qualified what you said based off the definitions and experiences that they're basing that reality in, and therefore they think that the two of you are on the same page. Spend enough time with that person, and before you know it, you may find out, and you're likely to find out, that what you thought was 100% understood turns into a variation of being understood. A variation in, could be 1% off, and it leaves you going, you mostly get it, it's cool. Or could be so far away from it, it's like, are we speaking the same language? And that has to do with life experiences and definitions of specific words and the intent of the context. And there's things inside of communication that you can strengthen to make a better outcome, connecting with other people specifically in such a way that it's powerful and impactful. So, all right, now as far as that goes, the more you know yourself, the better you connect with yourself, the better you can connect with other people. Along your journey, regardless of the type of success that you want to accomplish, you will need other people to get there. Even if your concept of success is to go off into isolation in the mountains, in the Himalayan mountains, and just meditate and do as the Buddhists do, or whatever mountain you want to go to, or whatever isolated area you want to go to, you still have to have other people give you a reason for going. Whether that's the motivation because of frustration, or whatever it is, or the growth and a desire to grow, because we are communal creatures, and that's something that we're not going to stop. Consider that one of the worst punishments you could actually be given is isolation, being isolated from others. The longer you're isolated, the more likely you are to develop a mental illness, because you're not communicating with others, and that's what we are really good at and what we are designed to do. Even when you're dealing with people with social anxiety disorders or antisocial anxiety disorders, they still have to have other people around or they get worse fast. So anyway, not a clinical psychologist. I studied psychology, but that's not my thing. I'm teaching from my perspectives and giving you insights from my point of view. So if it works for you, fantastic. And I would encourage you to continue to explore these thoughts, as this to me is one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself, is to understand yourself. And once you've understood yourself, or once you understand yourself, you can connect better with other people, because people will understand you in a way that creates less disconnect, which means that they allocate resources, again, thought, and resources, the entire gamut of resources. Affection is the emotions, there's the money, there's your time, there's your knowledge and experience. All of those things are resources. Just sharing space with you is a resource, because of the effect that you have on people, just simply because you're there. That's what I encourage people to look at as far as resource allocation. We do it all the time, but if you're not aware of it, you end up with mixed results, even though you'll have a desire to have a specific outcome. The better you understand your resource allocation and those that are allocating resources to you, and what resources you even have to you, that other people are offering, as well as what you have in yourself. I'm a huge advocate for up your resource value by developing yourself. 8 areas of maturity. They're all designed to increase your resource options so that you become a more successful and experienced human being, where you have the kind of life that leaves you feeling empowered and fulfilled, so that you know that when it's time for you to go, you have lived. You have lived this life, and there's no doubt about it. You've left a legacy because you've lived your life in such a way people are inspired by you, and they're willing to share your story, to tell others and show others that you've inspired them in such a way you've actually changed your life. So with that, just consider that you are the master of your destiny. You may have attachments to fate, and that's perfectly fine, and that's a conversation to have within itself. But associate what your fate is and what you can do about increasing the experience and the satisfaction of being on that track, if that's how you view things. All right. That's it for today. Connect with others. Connect with yourself. Take yourself to that next level. You deserve it, and so does the people in your life. Be that person that is the difference. Calvary incoming, you're it. There's no one coming to rescue you. You have to rescue yourself. And along the way, you're going to rescue other people. Some of it just by being you and inspiring them to be whomever it is they choose to be. Find yourself. Then you'll find the world, man. All right, until next time. I am your host, Chad Everett Broshears. Sir Chad Everett Broshears to some. And this is the Maturity Project. If you got something out of the video today, please leave a message in the comments or leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please do. Subscriptions do help because it encourages, the messages being, there's a benefit to it. Share this video with a person in your life that you want to be able to make a difference with, and that break the ice with it. You can use the videos for that. It's an excellent way of doing it, even if it has to do with framing the tangents and the sometimes esoteric or vague language that I'll use. Just share it. You never know what'll come out of that once you've had that conversation with that person. So, all right, till next time. Again, your host, Chad Everett Broshears. This is the Maturity Project. We got a world to work on, but we really got to work on ourselves first. Catch you next time.